And welcome back to Electric Bike Mark. On this video I'm going to be riding the King Bull Ranger, quickly becoming one of my favorite bikes to ride. Absolutely love the bike. And what I want to talk about on this video is electric bikes and the biggest issue that law enforcement with these bikes. And they are worried all the time, it seems like, about speed. So we're going to talk about speed on this video. So the 2026 e-bike speed trap refers to a growing movement of strict legislative crackdowns and law enforcement targeting e-bikes as they increasingly blur the line between bicycles and motorized vehicles. Critics argue the traditional three-class regulatory system is the wrong way to regulate because it relies on arbitrary hardware specs rather than actual rider behavior or infrastructure. The current classification system, originally designed to keep e-bikes from being treated like mopeds, is now being criticized for several critical flaws. By defining Class 3 bikes up to 28 miles per hour, the industry unintentionally moved outside the federal definition of a low-speed electric bicycle, which is capped at 20 miles per hour. This has allowed states like New Jersey to legally reclassify these bikes as mopeds, requiring licensing, registration, and insurance. Regulations often focus on whether a motor is engaged by a pedal or throttle. Critics point out that from a physics and safety perspective, a 20 mile per hour e-bike with a throttle and a 20 mile per hour e-bike with pedal assistance are identical in a collision, yet they are often regulated entirely different. Most modern e-bikes can unlock via software to move between classes or exceed speed limits entirely. This makes roadside enforcement of class levels nearly impossible for police, leading to draconian sweeping bans rather than target enforcement. Fixed speed caps like 28 miles per hour don't account for environment. A Class 3 bike might be safe on a road with cars, but dangerous on a multi-use path. Newer 2026 laws, such as those in Florida, are shifting toward strict 10 miles per hour on sidewalks regardless of the bike class. As the class system loses favor, several new regulatory approaches are gaining traction. States are increasingly requiring licenses for an e-bike exceeding 20 miles per hour or certain power thresholds. Advocates suggest moving toward posted speed limit enforcement, punishing how fast a person actually rides on a specific path rather than what the bike is capable of. Strict liability laws are targeting parents of riders under 16, treating high-powered e-bikes like motorized vehicles for legal purposes. Many homeowners insurance policies are adding EV exclusions, leaving riders of higher class bikes personally liable for accidents. So let's hop on and talk about that. Wait a second here. I want to put my phone up here so you can see exactly how fast I'm riding. But I am definitely in favor of speed limits as opposed to class levels. Definitely. I am all for that, and I'd like to see that. I don't care about the class levels. They may have been good in their time, but I think these days we've moved past that, and I think the rider's responsibility is to ride according to speed limits. You can have a limit on the bike, how fast you want a bicycle, or in this case, electric bicycle, to go. And let's just say it's 28 miles per hour, the old Class 3 maximum speed limit, regardless of pedals or no pedals. We can talk about that too, but so the way I look at it is if you're hitting that If you're going beyond the speed limit, if it's set at 28, then you're liable. If that's the limit, you know, that they have for it. And right now, class 3 is that. So if we use that number and you're going beyond 28, yeah, you're responsible for going beyond the speed. Or if you're in a 20 mile per hour, let's say you're in a 20 mile per hour school zone, as an example, and you're going 28 or beyond that, then you're darn right you're liable. You're the one who's breaking the law right there. So I think they gotta kind of leave it up to allowing the rider to actually control their own, you know, their own speed that they're gonna go. I'm just gonna turn here and then we'll get back to this. So that's my thought on this. Depending on where you ride, you control the bike. The bike doesn't control you. It's like a car. And I've brought this up many times. Several people have brought this up too, comparing it to a car. Just because the car is capable of going 100 miles an hour, that doesn't mean you're going to drive it or should drive it 100 miles an hour. So why can't the bike be the same thing? And we're talking far less speed. I mean, anybody that wants to go 100 miles an hour on a bicycle is absolutely insane. So, but we're talking more 28 miles an hour or 30. I think 30 is a fair speed. It's a nice round number. And I'd like it to be 30 maximum. And 30 miles per hour does not mean you can go on a trail and just crank it out at 30 miles an hour. First of all, it's kind of hard to do. If you've been on any trails, you know, a lot of trails actually have turns. They're narrow, first of all, and they have turns, or they have a lot of pedestrians sharing that trail, and there's no way you can get up to that kind of speed. If you're going around blind corners, there's no way you can do that. I mean, I find 15 miles per hour on a trail is good. I don't have any issues with 15 miles per hour. On the road is where we want the faster speed. And not on these roads where I'm on right now, because these roads are basically 20, maybe 25. You don't need to go any faster than that. It's on those roads that I worry about that are, say, 40 miles an hour. Say you're out in the country on a country road, and those roads are 40 miles an hour, and they're only one lane, right? And there's no bike lane. Those are the kind of roads that I think you should be able to try to keep up closer to traffic. And let's face it, a lot of e-bikes can't even go anywhere near 40 miles an hour. So, you know, it's not a case of all bikes are going to go that speed. Some can go that speed. The one I'm on right now, this King Bull Ranger, has a top speed of 28. I did a speed test, 28.5 miles an hour, and that was pedaling madly. I think the throttle, it goes to 25 or 26. That's it. But you know what? For just ripping around a little bit in the city here, cruising around in the urban areas, it's fast enough. You know, I'm not going on roads really right now that I need to go that kind of speed anyway, so I'm good. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on that. Do you think it should be up to the rider to control their speed and not worry about what the bike is capable of doing? And There is a difference too between torque and speed. Like some people say, well, I need that to get up hills. Well, you don't need the speed necessarily to get up the hills. You need torque. But if you want to keep up, I guess, the speed of the road, then yeah, you would. But it's the torque that's going to get you up there. What a beautiful morning here. There's nobody around. I'm recording this video on a Saturday morning at about 10 o'clock. Very peaceful out here. And you can see we're cruising around just enjoying the ride on one of my favorite bikes. And just for the record, I am not pedaling this bike, I'm throttling it only. You can pedal this bike, but this is one of the bikes, usually the Moped-Style for me, I like to throttle them. I've got lots of pedal bikes and I do lots of pedaling, but on my Moped-Style e-bikes, which I have 3 of them at the moment, I throttle those. They can be pedaled, but I throttle them. These are what I call my throttle bikes. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that, about throttle versus pedal assist. To me, and if you've watched this channel before, you know my thoughts on this. My thoughts on this are, as long as you're abiding and obeying speed limits on the road you're on, and not exceeding 28, we should mention that too, because really that's a no-no as well. But then you should be able to ride pedal assist or throttle. What's the difference? Like that, what I just read you earlier there, before we hopped on for the ride, 20 miles per hour, for example, is 20 miles per hour. If you're getting into an accident at 20 miles per hour, you know what? The situation's going to be the same. We're on cruise control right now. I'm going to crank it up a little bit faster. Anyway, it's going to be the same whether you're pedaling to 20, go here, or you're throttling to 20. What's the difference? The bike is still going 28 miles or 20 miles per hour. So personally, I'd like to see them worry less about that and control the speeds. And maybe enforce the laws a little bit. You know, they do all this talk. Do they actually enforce anything though? You know, they talk it all up. And let me know in the comments if you know in your area, do they actually enforce the laws? Because I know I don't see it. To be honest with you, I don't see a whole lot of e-bikes around here. I see more traditional bikes. I know when I first came here to Tennessee, which has been about 7 months ago now, just about 7 months, there was no e-bikes around. I did a video saying, hey Tennessee, where's all the e-bikes? Because I just don't see any. And very rare to see an e-bike around here. There's a few, I've seen a few. I mean, I've seen some young kids riding. These kids were no more than 12 years old, riding like a Saran, at least a Saran style bike, and they were riding on the sidewalk, which is a real no-no, but you know. Anyway, that's my thought on that. Just let's get rid of speed limits, or get rid of class levels and go with speed limits. And maybe enforce the law a little bit. And on trails, first of all, post the sign up. If you want the bikes to go X amount of speed maximum, put a sign up and say it, because a lot of times I'll be on trails and you know what, I have no idea what the speed limit is because there's no sign. So when I don't see a sign, I go to assume, and you know what assume means. And we don't need to repeat it, but so I assume 15 miles per hour. That's what my go-to speed, and that's fine. Like I say, I have seen signs posted 10 miles per hour in busier areas, which is pretty slow. You can notice a big difference between 10 and 15, I'll say that. And then occasionally you'll see a 12 miles per hour as well. But the most common I see is no sign. And so to me, no sign equals 15 miles per hour. Hopefully you're having nice weather where you are. It's absolutely beautiful out here right now. I think it's like 72 degrees or low 70s anyway, which is absolutely perfect for me. I'm not going to complain one bit. You want to hear my horn? It's a loud horn on this bike. So if you're on a trail and you honk the horn, it may scare the bejeebers out of somebody, or you'll get those folks that have earbuds in and they don't hear anything. They're in la la land, let me tell you, and they're not thinking about anything around them. They're just so into whatever they're listening to, be it a podcast, music, whatever. So this bike has cruise control, so it's automatically going on all the time. I think I can probably go in somewhere and shut that off. Sometimes it's great because, you get going here and I didn't even think about it. And after so many seconds, it automatically takes over. But then sometimes you want control over your throttle too, right? So it can be a bit of a nuisance as well. Petmobile. All right, that's going to do it for this video, talking about speed. And basically wrapping this up, my thoughts are, let's have a straight speed limit and let's have it universal, the whole country. It's a big federal thing, the whole country. And I like to make it either 28 or 30, throttle or no throttle, throw away the class levels and just have a speed limit and enforce it. But then you're going to say, well, is somebody going to take, are they going to come up with even faster e-bikes? Well, if you come up with a faster e-bike, that's fine. You just can't ride it at that speed. So enforce the speed limit. That's my thinking on this. And I think it would make a difference. And I'd like to see it happen and see what it looks like after they do that. But anyway, that's my take on this video. So that's going to do it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment on this or any other videos that you've seen on the channel, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me on this video. And until next time, be safe, everyone, and as I go backwards, keep your wheels on the road. See you later.